Okay, so what if I told you the secret to fixing your finances wasn't buried in some complicated spreadsheet, but was actually hidden in a simple story? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're diving into this modern fable about a brilliant inventor, his, let's say, wild spending habits, and the one small change that completely secured his future.
So let's meet our main character. This is DrMonkeyMan. He's a world-famous inventor living in the prosperity jungle, and he is known for dreaming up these absolutely incredible creations. I mean, the guy's got style, he's got brains, but he also has a massive, glaring financial blind spot. See, the moment his salary hits his account for his incredible scientific services, it is an all-out party. DrMonkeyMan goes on this huge spending spree. We're talking feasts, shiny new gadgets, banana-shaped drones, you name it. And for a little while, life is a total paradise. And just like that, his financial cycle begins. You know the one? It's a classic boom and bust. He kicks off the month living like a king, surrounded by every luxury you can imagine. But by the time the next payday rolls around, he's literally back to scrounging for coins to buy a coffee. That paradise? Yeah, it turns into pure panic every single time.
Now, this exhausting cycle just couldn't last forever, right? Something had to give. And that's when everything, and I mean everything, changes, all thanks to the arrival of a very, very wise visitor.
So picture this. DrMonkeyMan is at his absolute lowest point. He's frustrated, he's surrounded by piles of bills for things he barely even uses anymore. And then, in walks Meerkat Maven. She is the kingdom's financial guru, and she spots his problem in about 2 seconds. She just asks him a really simple question. Where does all your treasure go?
And boom, there it is, the core piece of wisdom that changes the game. Meerkat Maven explains that he's been thinking about money completely backward. He spends first, and then he tries to save whatever's left over, which, let's be honest, is usually nothing. The secret, she says, is to flip the entire script. You save first, not last.
So what's her big, complicated advice? It's not complicated at all. It's shockingly simple. A 50-50 split. The second your salary lands, you cut it in half. 50% is for your future. That's your investments, your savings, and the other 50% is for living. It's a clear, non-negotiable rule. That's it.
DrMonkeyMan, being the inventor that he is, doesn't just, take her advice and write it down. No way. He turns it into his most ambitious project yet. He decides he's going to build an actual system to force himself to have this new discipline.
He invents the Salary Splitter 2.0. There's this wild automated system in his lab. As soon as this payment comes in, you've got lasers, mechanical arms, even confetti going off as the funds are instantly divided. Half gets shot into Vault A, the future fund, which is sealed up tight for investments. The other half goes right into Vault B, the living fund, and that's all he's got for his daily expenses.
Now let's be real, this was not easy at first. He had to dramatically shrink his lifestyle. He had to cut way back on all the splurges. But as he got used to living on just half his income, something new and, frankly, much better started to grow. This feeling of stability. For the very first time, he wasn't waking up in a cold sweat stressing about money.
And the results? They were absolutely undeniable. His future fund didn't just sit there. It started to grow, and it grew fast. All that consistent saving and smart investing began to compound on itself, building real, actual wealth month after month.
Of course, any new system has to be tested, right? You gotta see if it holds up under pressure. And well, a massive test was just around the corner for DrMonkeyMan and the entire prosperity jungle. Suddenly, a huge economic downturn hits the kingdom. The markets tank, jobs are lost, and fear just spreads like wildfire. I mean, everyone is panicking, except for one person. Thanks to his new system, DrMonkeyMan is completely calm.
And his savings weren't just some passive safety net either. They were an offensive tool. While everybody else was cutting back and hiding, he used his reserves to invest more in his inventions, innovating faster than ever before. He even started hiring other folks who were struggling, basically turning this massive crisis into a massive opportunity. His success became so obvious that the king himself came to visit his lab. He saw that DrMonkeyMan didn't just survive the storm, he was actually thriving in it. So the king's request was pretty simple. You have to share your secret with the entire kingdom. And so, what started as a personal experiment quickly became a financial philosophy for the whole kingdom. And naturally, it got a new name.
And here it is, the MonkeyMan formula. The principle is incredibly straightforward. The second your salary comes in, you immediately, before you do anything else, move 40 to 50% of it into savings and investments. Then, you figure out how to live on whatever is left. See? Not the other way around.
And this right here is the mindset shift that makes the whole thing work. DrMonkeyMan finally realized he needed to treat his future self as his most valuable employee. Think about it. You would never skip paying your star employee, right? So why on earth would you skip paying the one person who guarantees your future security and freedom?
So that really brings us to the final question, and it's one for all of us to think about. When you look at your own finances, is your future self getting the first and the best part of your paycheck? Or are they just getting the scraps and the leftovers? Are you paying your most important employee what they are truly worth?